Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. So that big hurricane, it's a tropical depression now. It's still kind of headed this way, but we were supposed to start getting rain today and tomorrow. That was the original, and now they've pushed it off to tomorrow. Now they're saying we may not get that much, so I don't know. We really need at least enough rain to kind of knock the dust off of everything. My goodness. Just this morning, was out and about, and I thought something was on fire because of that kind of the smoky haze, low hanging haze. Then I thought, well, no, maybe that's fog. And then I realized it was near a gravel road, and it was just all the dust that's just settling kind of in the valley from people driving on that gravel road. It's just that point around here, so hopefully at least we get some. You know, I think I'm seeing a shift in, or not a shift, that's not the right word, a direction. When it comes to all of these illegals, the Haitians in Springfield and all over the country, really. I mean, they're certainly not just, isolated there. That's just what's been popular in the news. But these problems are, well, they're expanding pretty rapidly. More and more people every day are coming out and saying, hey, we got problems here too. Don't forget about our town. They just loaded up. I just had a guy send me an email just today, someone I know personally. And in a small little town, a whole busload of them was dropped off, and they've moved into this apartment complex. And then another neighboring town from where that guy's located, some of the small businesses now are, like the small chain, like gas station chain business. They're now it's all people from some other country running it. It's the only ones there working. And so we're seeing this happen everywhere. And I know that some of you just think that guys like myself and other YouTube channels, we're these conspiracy theorist preppers, right? And the truth is that we're usually quite accurate. The only thing is that usually what we say isn't going to happen for a little while. We're ahead of the curve, so to speak. It was just a couple of months ago that I was warning that what you're seeing happen in Europe with all of their illegals, all of these migrants coming in, causing violence and eating animals on the street and doing all these horrible things to each other, I kept saying it's going to start happening here in the United States. And sure enough, it is. So I think the next phase in this, and this actually also follows the whatever steps of genocide. If you go look that up, you'll find out. The White House said today, not that it was awful that some of these violent acts, even the provable ones, I know that there's some that are just stories or people on the street, but I'm talking ones that you can absolutely prove. These various violent acts and criminal activities that you can absolutely prove from illegals. They didn't talk about that kind of stuff. They didn't talk about the drain on these small towns that are saying that they're going to collapse, that their emergency services, that their education systems, that their hospital systems, their utility, their housing, it's all collapsing because they're being overrun and overburdened by all this. They didn't talk about that kind of stuff at the White House today. What they did talk about is that there's a problem because all of these illegals, and especially these Haitians, they're now living in danger, and they're in fear for their life because all of these, racist, redneck, patriotic Americans, they don't like them living here, and they could possibly do violent harm to them. And so we're seeing the narrative being twisted once again. And the reason why I'm bringing this one thing up is because I think that this is actually a quite serious one. That we are watching a narrative being developed, not that the illegals that are here criminally, even if they're not committing crimes, just the act of them being here is criminal. And many of them are committing crimes, and many of them are doing other things, spreading disease and just all kinds of stuff. Not all, but many. The problem isn't that. The problem is you. You're the problem right there. Because you don't like this multicultural society that's being developed. You don't like this because you adhere to your Bible and your guns and your Constitution. And you're the problem. You're the one that we need to take care of. It's okay to let all of these illegals in. Why? They help the economy and they help the culture, and everything's better because of them. But you, my friend, you're the problem. And that's exactly what we're going to start seeing happen. I fully believe that. And what I heard today from the White House, that is the new narrative. The new narrative is that we Americans, regardless of our skin color, regardless of our political affiliation, regardless of what religion we are, we Americans that are sick and tired of our country being destroyed by third world illegals, we are the problem. Not the people coming into this country. We are the problem, and we need to be fixed. I think a related story, it came out this week that the January 6ers, you know who I'm talking about, that they have been trying to force them to go through re-education training while they were in jail. That's correct. There was a Senate hearing, I believe, or a congressional hearing, and they brought forth evidence of the curriculum that's used, and it was basically telling them all the things that they stood for was wrong and evil. This re-education is something that was talked about way back when Trump got elected the first time, and then back when Trump was, well, the 2020 election. You know what I'm talking about. They were talking about that these MAGA people, these conservatives, these patriots, they need to go through re-education camps. In fact, they were doing that in the military. I heard from many people that were in the military at that time that were saying that they were trying to put them through all of this DEI, left-leaning, anti-patriot training. In fact, that was, if you remember back then, 2020, remember that time period where they were saying that, well, we gotta see how many of these, you know, military personnel are patriots, because this patriotic extremism is bad. It's all starting to come together, folks. There's patterns. There's patterns that's been going on now for 4 years. More than that. But definitely, obviously, for 4 years. That we're watching these patterns of the people that are in charge, or the people that want to be in charge, the people that really are holding the power. They are trying to basically genocide the patriotic people. They want the American citizens that are patriots, that do cling to their Bibles, that do cling to their guns, that are pro-life, that are, you know, all of these things. They're trying to segment them in our society and say, these are the bad people. They're the ones actually causing all the problems. And so we're going to see this problem get worse. And we are going to see a day where instead of the good guys standing up against the bad guys will be, well, just steamrolling over the good guys. And I'm speaking of us. And so I want to tell you this. You need to get serious about your preparations. This stuff that we're seeing in Springfield, Ohio, and Aurora, Colorado, and all along the border, it's happening everywhere. It would take me forever to go through all the emails that I get that are on this subject, and some of them I just don't want to, because some people have asked me not to. But I'm telling you, and I'm small fry, folks. I'm nowhere near as important. I'm not important at all, but not like some of these other channels. So I suspect these other bigger channels that are addressing these issues probably are getting flooded with stories. But I get quite a few already. And they're talking about how they're just, maybe it's just a van load. Maybe it's 20 or 30 of them. That doesn't sound like too much. And then, 6 months later, it's 20 or 30 more. And then those family members of the people that are living there, they start showing up. Because they send messages home to their family saying, hey, we got a place to live. Get your butt up here. And they make their way across the border. And then they show up too. And little by little, over 6, 12, 18-month, 24-month time period, now you have a larger population, and they're taking over. They're causing harm. Up there in Springfield, Ohio, they're saying that they're putting a lot of the adults, 19 to 25-year-olds, through the high school so that they can, they can go to school and get an education. So your 13, 14-year-old daughter, that's a freshman is now sitting next to a 23, 24, 25-year-old man from Haiti that may have an IQ of 70. They're trying to teach them how to be Americans. It's who she's going to high school with now in Springfield, Ohio. It's gonna get worse, folks. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer doomsdayer, but it's gonna get worse, and you better get ready. You better get stocked up. Yes, your boomsticks, your pew-pew seeds, you know what I'm talking about. You better stock up on those. Your food, definitely. However much you think you have, you may sit back and say, man, I got a lot of food. I got a lot of food stocked up. You need to go get some more. Trust me, you always could use more. Medical supplies the same way. Water purification. I'm dropping a link down in the description and the comment section. A company called Sagan Life. They make an excellent, very affordable water purification product just for preppers. You can take a 55-gallon drum of water, fill it with water, and this thing, you stick it in it, and you can hand pump the water out or use a little battery-operated pump. Pumps the water out, and it filters it. The price is very reasonable, less than $100. You should check that out because water is something you really can't have too much of it stored up. But the point is that things are going to get worse. They have already. Take 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, and look where we're at now in regards to this issue. And it's gotten a lot worse. What's it going to be a month from now, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months? What's it going to be like then? Will they be in your town, in your neighborhood by then? It's possible. So don't just watch this content and other content like this and say, yeah, that's really bad. Boy, honey, we should probably start getting ready for this. No, you need to just jump up and go do it. Because time is ticking and it's running away from you really fast. It's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.